Time now for another edition of Today in History. On July 15th, 1799, the Rosetta Stone, a key to deciphering ancient Egyptian scripts, was found at Fort Julien in the Nile Delta during the Napoleonic campaign in Egypt. Also on this date, in 1834, the Spanish Inquisition was abolished more than 350 years after its creation. In 1870, Georgia became the last Confederate state to be readmitted to the Union. In 1913, Democrat Augustus Bacon of Georgia became the first person elected to the U.S. Senate under the terms of the recently ratified 17th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, providing for popular election of senators. In 1916, the Boeing Company, originally known as Pacific Aero Products Co, was founded in Seattle. In 1975, three American astronauts blasted off aboard an Apollo spaceship hours after two Soviet cosmonauts were launched aboard a Soyuz spacecraft for a mission that included a linkup of the two ships in orbit. In 1976, a 36-hour kidnap ordeal began for 26 school children and their bus driver as they were abducted near Chowchilla, California, by three gunmen and imprisoned in an underground cell. The captives escaped unharmed and the kidnappers were caught. In 1997, fashion designer Gianni Versace, age 50, was shot dead outside his Miami Beach home. Suspected gunman Andrew Philip Cunanan, age 27, was found dead 8 days later, a suicide. Investigators believed Cunanan killed four other people before Versace in a cross-country rampage that began the previous March. In 2002, John Walker Lynn, an American who'd fought alongside the Taliban in Afghanistan, pleaded guilty in federal court in Alexandria, Virginia, to two felonies in a deal sparing him life in prison. In 2006, Twitter, now known as X, was launched to the public. In 2019, avowed white supremacist James Alex Fields Jr. was sentenced to life in prison plus 419 years for killing one and injuring dozens of others when he deliberately drove his car into a crowd of anti-racism protesters during a rally in Charlottesville, Virginia. In 2020, George Floyd's family filed a lawsuit against the city of Minneapolis and the four police officers charged in his death, alleging the officers violated Floyd's rights when they restrained him and that the city allowed a culture of excessive force, racism, and impunity to flourish in its police force. The city would agree to pay $27 million to settle the lawsuit in March 2021. That's Today in History. Now back to more music on PEP Radio.